December 13th, 1942. Misha visits mother in the women's barracks, and Marietta's in there too. We learn about her job, which is in the laundry room. As Misha is telling mother what happens throughout the day at program, he starts thinking about what happened today, which was when they were waiting for a professor to come. The boys started a pillow fight, and it got really rough, and there were feathers flying around everywhere in the room. And Franta came back and yelled at the boys, basically saying, why would they do this? Why would they make their lives harder than they need to be? Then, before Misha leaves, so after he thinks about this, he also thinks about how Franta said that there is a rehearsal tonight. So Misha has to leave Marietta and mother to go rehearse the play The Pied Piper. So he has to go. But before he goes, mother wants to give him a blanket so that he can stay warm. And it's the blanket that mother and father used in Prague. Misha doesn't want to take it because he's afraid Franta won't allow it. And mother says that she'll talk to Franta. Then, when Misha gets to rehearsal, it's only him and Franta there. And Franta was asking him if the pillow fight was fun. And Misha says, yes, the pillow fight was fun. And Franta basically just smiles and says that he wishes more people here could have fun. December 28th, 1942. The boys are getting ready to play soccer, and Misha runs to go get Jiri, who's back at the bastion trying to find his hat. He sees Jiri talking to Franta. Franta asks the boys to go around and pick up twigs, and Franta starts teaching them a lesson. He shows them that one twig alone will snap because it's weak, but together, as a bunch of sticks, as a bundle of sticks, it's strong and cannot break. He first started talking about it as a soccer team, how you have to play as a team because everybody has weaknesses and strengths, and just one player on their own, even if they're really good, can't defeat a bundle of twigs or can't defeat a strong team that's working together. Even though he was talking about soccer at first, he started to relate it to what they were going through between the Jewish and the Germans, how the Germans are a very strong bundle of sticks, but the Jews can be a strong bundle too, but they just have to stick together. Then the boys see the Nazis come and go back to Nesharim. January 22nd, 1943. The boys are in program, and someone knocks at the door of room 7. It's Gila's mom, and it's to tell Gila that they're on the next transport tomorrow. She starts crying and says that 2,000 Jews will be transported tomorrow to concentration camps in the east, to a camp called Birkenau, which is the same as Auschwitz. People start going nuts and running around Terezin. Franta asks the boys to run and go get the cart and go to the barracks to help people with their baggage, especially at the engineer barracks where the older people live. Misha starts helping an older woman whose bag bursts open. And then the boys start carrying a big cart loaded with bags, and Misha looks back to see where the woman is and can't find her. So he runs back and sees her sitting on a bench and sits next to her. She's just staring off to space, wondering what's going to happen to her next. January 23rd, 1943. The boys start saying bye to Gila and gives him a rule and a deck of cards so he doesn't get bored on the train. A guard yells at the boys to leave. Pedro got off the transport list because of his connections through his father and his uncle, who works for one of the Nazis. 2,000 people, they realize, means exactly 2,000 people. So, because Pedro got off, another family now has to go in their place. Mother talks to Franta about the blanket. He tells Misha to go get ready for bed, while Franta and his mother sort of argue about him taking the blanket. At night, Kapur cries in the bed that him and Gila shared. July 7th, 1943. The Nesharim are preparing for a big soccer game against another room. There's a meeting with all the kids, girls and boys, and they're told that they can perform an opera, which is a play with songs. And they're going to perform a story called Brundabar. Brundabar is a play about two children that get milk for their sick mother. But Brundabar, with a creepy mustache, keeps chasing them away. Then all the children in the town help defeat Brundabar. July 20th, 1943. Misha's trying to explain the soccer game to Mother, but she is distracted and tired. By the way, Nesharim won. Misha's about to go when Mother says that she has a surprise, and she pulls out a pack of sardines. Sardines are like little fish. She got them from friends that escaped and went to Portugal, which is a different country where Jews were not being persecuted in. Misha and Marietta love sardines so much that they used to fight over them at home. So Misha was absolutely devouring the 2 sardines he was allowed to have. And he was sort of fighting with himself like, well, the 3rd sardine's tail's bent. I'm sure she won't notice. It's sort of like those fries at the bottom of the bag, and they're actually your sister's fries that fell out. And you're like, well, she probably won't notice. That's sort of what he was doing. Anyway, so he just eats the 2, and he walks out, and he sees a shadow in the courtyard, and he realizes that it's Marietta kissing a boy. And that is where we leave off.